Quechua, Madre Tierra. No, perdón. Mama Cocha es Madre de todas las aguas, el océano. Y Pachamama, Madre Tierra, Mother Earth. So the Vaishnavas, when they get up and they do their puja in the morning, first thing they offer their obeisance to Bhumi Mata. It's part of the deity worship. We step on her, we live by her grace. We shouldn't be ungrateful rascals. We have to be thankful for everything we got from Mother Earth and from the Divine Mother, which comes down from Krishna's lotus feet. Actually, all the water comes from Krishna's lotus feet when he, as Vamanadeva, pokes a hole in the cosmic covering. That you can imagine what looking like. When Vamanadeva expanded his incredible body to the size of universal proportion, and with a little yogic exercise of extending his foot into the sky, he pierced the covering of the universe through the 7 layers. You know what that means? Each layer is, I think, 10 times bigger than the ones before. It's like the coverings of the universe are just like another many, many universes and many things. All this he penetrated. Bing! And the water from the causal ocean, which is actually the sweat of the original Vishnu. The sweat which comes from his own lotus body. That sweat penetrates. In other words, this is the sweat of Vishnu. What do you think about that? He sweats a lot. But with so much work, no wonder he sweats. But it's the sweat of nectar. It is Ganga. It is because it is getting personified. The personified deity of sacred water is Ganga Devi. And Ganga Devi is expanded into multiple forms of divine female Shaktis. Ganga Devi, Yamuna Devi, Saraswati Devi, Bhumi Devi, Shraddha Devi, Bhakti Devi, you can just go on. Devi after Devi. Devi is everywhere. Better don't get yourself in trouble with Devi. Because Devi is not for joking. Devi is worshipable. You worship Devi. That's why you should stay a brahmachari for your whole life and worship her from a safe distance. Because when you get married and you start treating your wife like she's a servant of yours or something, then you're getting in trouble. And you start mistreating her, getting into more trouble. So this is, of course, if you marry in spiritual consciousness and you do everything perfect, then it is a way of serving Devi. No? Marriage, having children is a service, no? And a big service. You know, it's a big service. Any mother and father, they can tell you the story. How it was to bring up these children and make sure that they don't do nonsense, no? Because children have the tendency of doing nonsense easily. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Mother is so merciful. So merciful, so incredibly merciful, that she even plays the Leela of being subordinate. That's an interesting psychological understanding. Because subordinate, in love, who is subordinate? In love, subordination is the competition. Everybody wants to be subordinate. No. You're not subordinate. I am subordinate to you. No way, no way, no way. I cannot tolerate that you are subordinate to me. I'm subordinate. It is my constitutional position and my birthright. No, don't come with this. It's just an excuse. What I'm talking about is the conversation between Radha and Krishna. None of them wants the other to be subordinate. You know, Krishna praying at Radha's lotus feet, putting her on his head. What was that all about? Most people, they cannot figure that one out. Huh? How is that? Well, as a matter of fact, in this material world, we can't figure out anything anyway. We're pretty off the wall. Because we have done so many wrong things. We're living such a wrong lifestyle. Therefore, we can't figure it out. I was listening to one class last night. One journalist, she was asking Prabhupada, are women inferior? Prabhupada said, inferior? Inferior? This is coming from your mind. Huh? You listen to the same class, no?
Yes.
He said, women are different, they're not inferior. What do you mean they're different? This woman, she insisted at least 30 times. 30 times she tried to get Prabhupada to say that women, then the question was not inferior, then was subordinate. And Prabhupada said, yes, women should be subordinate in practical management of society. Subordinate? He said, why should they be subordinate? Well, because it's the nature. Their female nature is that they are lovingly subordinate. They are offering service at home. This is a natural relationship at home. But they manage the money many times. Radharani, she manages the money of Krishna's whole affair. So if Krishna wants to spend something, he has to ask Radharani. So what about subordinate there? Subordinate is a question of love. Subordinate is that you say, I want to be subordinate, not that I say, you must be subordinate. No, forget it. That type of arrogance, imposition, this is not spiritual. That's the perverted reflection. Everybody's saying, I am superior, I am superior. Everybody says, poor guy, ready for the mental asylum. Huh? He thinks he's superior. But who's superior, the baby or the mother? Who's subservient, the baby or the mother? The one word which we have not really learned well is complementation. Spiritually anyway, we are all equal forever. But still we are subordinate. We're equally subordinate. We are equally small because there's one who is big and you are not he. You can't compete with God. Give it up. Don't try to say I'm God. You become a laughing stock in the spiritual world. But this is something that the mind has created amazing quantities of speculations about. Then we were listening another class yesterday, where somewhere in the Bible it says, I am who I am. So, and some people take from that one name of God is I am who I am. And Prabhupada tried to explain that yes, you are who you are, very true. But don't think I am who I am and that means I'm God. You're a taxi driver. I am who I am, a taxi driver. And if you're God, then you can say, I am who I am because you're God. How do you know that you're God? Because you are living by yourself and maintaining everybody else. Okay, then you say, I am who I am. You say, no, I'm the same as God. I also can say, I am who I am. But that doesn't make you God, my dear. You're a fragment, a loving fragment of the Lord. And you are subordinate. But He don't want you to be subordinate. He wants you to be a loving partner. You know, when Krishna plays with his cowherd boys, He's not coming, I'm God and you're just a little cowherd boy. Shut up, behave yourself. No. Krishna plays with his cowherd boys in such a way that sometimes they win Krishna. They win over him. They get him down. Now, Krishna, you see who's strongest, huh? Yeah, I agree. Now you have to carry me. Then they sit on Krishna's shoulders, the cowherd boys. Okay, horse, run. And Krishna has to run. He has to run with his new rider. Now, what is that? What kind of leela is that of subordinate and superior and this? If the Lord is carrying His devotee on His shoulder, like He's the horse, come on. And we are superior, we are this, we are that. To figure out the Lord's pastimes, it's impossible. Ayopi samavyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi hi prakritim svamadishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. People cannot understand when I appear in this human form. They cannot understand it. Who am I? They think, oh, maybe He's like me. Maybe He's like me, a little richer. Maybe He's like me, a little bit more handsome. Maybe He's like me, a little bit more learned. This is our strange position in this world, my brothers and sisters. We want to compete with God. It's funny, no?
It's the waves.
You know what that means? It means that we want to be in this material world. We want this material world. We want this competition. Maybe I make it. Maybe I become a minister. Maybe I become the president of Mallorca, of Spain. Or maybe I can become the president of the European Parliament. Wow. Why not? Somebody is the president of the European Parliament. He's just another knucklehead like you. So if he can make it, why can't you make it? Competition. We want to compete. We want to compete with the Lord. We don't want to be His humble servant, subservient. This is bhakti. I want to be subservient forever. I want to be your loving slave forever. Krishna says slave? No. But that's what the Lord says. That He becomes the slave of His slaves. I mean, last not least, they're just words, no? But what does it mean? If you become the slave of God, means you love Him so much that you give up all your personal selfish stuff. And then the Lord says, whatever you say, I will fulfill. Ayopi sam avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi hi prakritim svamadishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. For those who love me and serve me from their heart, I carry what they need and I preserve what they have. You know? He even preserves what we have, our health, for example, when we do not serve Him. Look how handsome and healthy all of you look. I hope the appearance doesn't cheat. But, I mean, by the grace of God, we are all here, we are all doing well. What does it mean? Somebody is preserving us and carrying everything we need. Even He brings us some silly antibiotics when you got some serious infection in the body. Even then He comes and says, okay, here's a pill for the antibiotic. Because before He had other systems, and before people were not getting sick like today. Because they were not living such contaminated lifestyle. They would drink an aloe vera juice and they got fine. So He carries what you need and He preserves what you have. Just because you try to serve Him. For who do you carry what He needs and preserve what He has? But maybe for your children. Not my father. My father told all of us, he said, don't expect anything from me when I die. I make sure I spend every single penny I make. So do not fall in a lazy mood that, oh, when father dies, I'll get something. I don't know why he said it, but he made it true. He didn't leave anything. Huh? But some people are not like this. They say, oh, I'm working so hard for my children. I'm leaving them this, I'm leaving them that, and like this. No. Okay, they do this. But besides that, usually people want to hang on to their little things to the last moment. The last moment of their life, they still want to see, let me know what's the bank balance. Hey, you're about to die. Yes, but I want to know how much is in the bank. Think of Krishna. Don't think of your bank balance, please. Have you locked the car? Where's the key? You see, the material world is obviously obsessed with competition. And love is exactly the opposite of that. Where others are obsessed with competition, we are obsessed with service. We want to serve all. We want to serve all people. And Prabhupada was so kind. He gave us the key how to serve all people in the world. He told us, you go everywhere and you tell everybody about Krishna. In this way you become a spiritual master and you teach them the highest welfare. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Yade teke tahi kaha Krishna upadesha amara jnana uruhana tanadesha. In this way you become a spiritual master. You don't even have to leave your home. You can do that as a grihasta. He says, Kurma Brahmana, who got this instruction, was not a sannyasi. He was a humble householder. But when he met Mahaprabhu, he fell in love with him so much, he said, I am going with you. Mahaprabhu said, not necessary. You stay here and you give to everybody what I gave to you. That is what is your duty now. And he said, in this way you become a spiritual master. How do you become a spiritual master? By repeating what you heard from your spiritual master, you become a spiritual master. That's how. And this is a valid instruction for each and everyone, you know. You know, every devotee is a Shiksha Guru of some kind. We give so much reverence to the Diksha Guru, but this is actually an excuse. The attention must be given to the truth, to the law, and to divine love, and wherever that manifests. So, whoever speaks the truth, whoever teaches the law, the divine law, and whoever lets love flow through himself, he's a guru. And you better be a guru by better being a disciple. So first you have to become a disciple, then you can become a guru. But first you have to become a guru, otherwise you cannot become a disciple. How does that work? This is called mind your own business, surrender. You have to surrender to the truth, to the law, and to love. Otherwise, what business you have with the truth, with law and love? God is the truth. God is love. God is the law. So if you want to have anything to do with God, well, you got to be in that spirit of representing Him. Now, the guru, there's another aspect to the guru. It's called the mahanta. The mahanta, we have Mahatma and we have Mahanta. Both starts with Maha. Maha means great, great. Mahanta. The one who keeps a great thing together is the Mahanta. The Mahanta of a temple. The Mahanta of a spiritual family, a spiritual community. He's the Mahanta. He makes sure the family is connected with the high. And the Mahatma is the one who is sold out to this. So in India, we see that great respect is given to the Mahanta. Why? Because they're necessary. I tell you another one who's getting lots of respect in this world. I know somebody who you accept as the absolute authority. Let's see if you find him. There's one person in the world, there's many persons, but one particular person who you worship. You are grateful to him. You even pay a lot of money to him. You're very, very thankful to him. Who's that? Who's that? Who you are so surrendered to? You will say, thank you, thank you, thank you, my dear. Who's that?
She says the ego.
Huh?
She says the ego.
No, not referring to the ego. No, you hate the government. Huh? Most. No, that person you really think, thank you, you're so good, you're so great, you're so kind. Huh?
A doctor?
Yes, it could be a doctor, but I'm thinking of somebody else. But a doctor can also sometimes be in that type of position. Who else? But the doctors, people don't accept the doctor's authority. But in this case, you accept anything he says. Come on. You all have worshipped that person many times in your life. Huh? No?
Your mother or your father?
No, because we disobey mother too often. So we cannot say that we always obey her. No, you worship him, you obey him, you're my greatest. You rarely get to talk to him or to her.
The mind.
Huh?
The mind.
No. Now I got you on the spot. Huh? Now I want to find out, do you know your gurus or not? He's a kind of a guru. Absolute authority. Come on, come on. Somebody. It's very simple. Has to do something with transport.
The body.
We always disobey the body. No? The pilot of your plane. Who is pilot in your plane? You say, oh, my pilot. Oh, yes. And pilot says, sit down and tie. Be quiet. Listen to my instruction. Airplane is going, ooh, pilot, pilot, please save us. Oh, pilot. Nobody goes and say, hey, pilot, get out of here. I'll sit in here and do this. Nobody. Everybody's obedient with the pilot. So if any stupid plane has a pilot and you worship him and obey him, and what about the spiritual community? You think that's more easy to fly than an airplane? You can make a pilot license within 3 months, half a year, and you're a pilot. It's not a big deal. But to fly a spiritual community and make sure that everybody's happy and well situated, that is a big job. And that's what's called in India the mahanta. And he's given great respect because of the work he's doing. Not because of he looks this way or that way or he has some particular education. No. It's because he is surrendered to this joint effort. He is surrendered to the welfare of everybody involved. So that is my thesis of today. Why we need spiritual community. Why we need to be humble. Why we have to see Krishna everywhere and see everything in me. So you will never be lost to him, nor is he ever lost to you. And the one who brings that focus in a community, he is the pilot of the community. He is the mahanta. And you need a mahanta in every house, and a mahanta in every car on the steering wheel. You need a mahanta in every kitchen. You need a mahanta in the pujari. You need a mahanta in the distribution of the services. And you need the mahanta in the publishing department. You know, the devotees, they're all shiksha gurus in one way or another. They're all potential mahantas, but somebody of them takes the position. Maybe inside the airplane there's 5 more pilots sitting. But you worship the one who's in the cockpit. You don't worship. You're not saying anybody else knows how to fly a plane? Well, you may ask that when the pilot passes out, no? Sorry, gentlemen, our pilot just dismayed. Is there anybody else in the plane who knows how to fly a plane? That's why we have co-pilots, no? That if that happens, then at least we have a co-pilot, huh? In the car, we don't have co-drivers. If the driver is sick all of a sudden, you cannot drive anymore because there's nobody else to drive, you stay there. So what I'm trying to point out to you today is that we have actually a major responsibility. A very great major responsibility of doing the things wonderful in life. And for you to become a pilot, for you to become a mahanta, is a very natural thing. A very natural thing. But you'll have to live up to it. That is a kind of that's a big job. Vishnu Priya Ashram pilot, Brahmachari Ashram pilot, community pilot, even restaurant pilot, or agriculture. Somebody in an egg project has to be in charge. Not that everybody goes in there and does whatever he thinks. And most people have no idea what's going on. What time to take out this, what time to put water. Everything you have to know. And you have to obey the ones who know. You have to learn from the ones who know. If you're not submissive to the ones who know, then you'll be without a community, without a guide, without a shelter. Therefore, I was telling to Yoga Shakti something very serious. I said, when your guru leaves the world, you have to find another guru. Maybe not so much for yourself. Maybe you will be so happy just thinking about your guru and going on chanting and reading and saying, I'm happy. But as soon as you start preaching, which is the essence of everything, you have to have a guru. Somebody who is going to be the mahanta. Just like our pilot, somebody's going to fly. And we hope the pilot doesn't crash the plane, no? I mean, your life is in the hands of the pilot to a certain degree. So it takes a lot of faith to get into an airplane, no? You don't even get to check out the pilot personally before. You just see there's a guy with the 4 stripes. You say, oh, Mr. Pilot. So in this way, spiritual life is flying a plane out of this material world into the spiritual world. And you are your own pilot. Yes, when it comes to getting out of this material world, you are the pilot on your plane. Anta kale chamang nivas madam muktva kale vadam yaprayati samatpavan. Krishna says, those who think of me in the moment of death, they can cross over the insurmountable ocean of nations and reach to my dominion. So this is what we are trying to do. Like if a tsunami comes right now, no time even to run up there, then what we do? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There's nothing else to do. And that's good, because then happen what happens. Tsunami will take you to Krishna. Thank you very much for listening. Mallorca me lucky. Now, it's a little early, it's 9. A little late. But I suggest the Matajis go to this side if they want to take a swim. It's easier to go inside there, and the man can take their swim here. So we take advantage. We came all the way down here. I think we want to have a little snan in Mama Kocha. So I suggest our Matajis to go to that side.
Okay.
And I also suggest the others to make a little bit more class who will not take bath, so then we can go all back together. It was very nice to come here, and it's even nicer to go back together. So, are you going to swim? Yeah?
No, I can't even swim.
You cannot swim. Okay, you can sit up here and hold some of my things.